Welcome to the podcast of Terrace Consulting.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today I have a very special, well, I always say it's very special, but in this case it's true. We know Brian and myself, we know each other for 20 years already. Brian Gleeson, good afternoon. How are you?
Pablo, good afternoon. Good to see you. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks very much. I can see the Moscow's skyline there and the sunset behind you.
It is. What time is it? It's about 4:30 our time, 4:40 our time, or something like that, and it's already dark. It's amazing. It's crazy.
But it's nice, the light going down, the sun going down in Moscow. Brian, you're Irish. You've worked in Ireland, Estonia, Norway, Denmark, Russia. Okay.
You are correct, sir. Yeah.
Let's start as usual. Let's start from the beginning. How did you go into hospitality first, and how did your career went up?
Sure. Getting into hospitality, it was kind of one of those rites of passages back in Ireland, really. I mean, in Ireland, the tourism industry, it's still such a massive part of our economy, but, you know, more importantly, it's a kind of a massive part of our lifestyle, of the way we like to entertain people. So getting involved in kitchens when I was about 14, doing like breakfast shifts and, you know, working as a commis chef was kind of my first introduction. Basically just to make money during the weekends and during summer holidays and that. Mm-hmm. And then as it got time to kind of choose a career, it was kind of something I edged towards, and my father certainly said that he thought I could do well in the business and that it would be an area where I could build a career. So that kind of got in initially through the kitchens and through chefing, and then went on to study and do the different departments and kind of work through the business, eventually to become a GM. And then it was a case of, you know, following the road and taking a look around the world. And that's what brought me to all of those countries and to Moscow today. Yeah.
And always with Radisson. And I want to ask you that. It's not that usual, especially nowadays. You know, people who stick to one brand. What had made you stick to Radisson?
Well, you know, even Radisson recently, recently when we were allowed travel and have meetings where we were all together. So about a year ago, Radisson had a meeting where they were asking a few of us that had been with them so many years, you know, what keeps you engaged? What's the story? And a lot of us had the same kind of answer, is that we're loyal, first of all, but also we're tremendously curious about, you know, where the company goes. Mm-hmm. Because I'm 15 years with the company, and we've seen growth upon growth upon growth. We constantly see new innovations coming on. We constantly see, you know, the want and the desire to do more and to get bigger and to be more efficient and to do things in a better way. So I think we're very curious on where the story goes and how we can help to grow the company and to make it even better. So it's a really, really, really good company to look after people and to keep people stimulated and motivated. There's a lot of us that have been with the company quite a long time. So you build this kind of network and this kind of family as well, that you want to be around, you know?
Mm-hmm. And get your goal. Yes, I can pin, yeah?
Yeah. With 3 diamonds now. You get a diamond for every, remember? You get a diamond every 5 years. I've got 3 of them. I've got 3 of them now.
There you go. On all those years, do we work in the industry? Do you have anybody like a mentor in mind, someone who's really helped you, guided you?
I honestly, Paul, I've had a few. I've had. I can't even say that I've just had one. There's been a few. I mean, going back to the Irish days, when I was in the Baltics. And I think the kind of the mentors that you have over the years, they change based on the need that you have in that period of your life. You know, when I first became a GM, I was in my late 20s. So I really relied on the person that I took over from, you know, for advice and for help. And there was a few of us that also became GMs at the same time. We used to ring each other up every couple of weeks going, do you know what this means? Or, you know, do you know about this? So the need and the mentor that you had in that time was a lot different than when I went overseas and suddenly I'm in Estonia and I'm dealing with other things in my life that I'm not in my home country anymore. I'm not doing things through my first language anymore. the taxation's different, the culture is different. How do I deal with this situation? So then you have a need for a different mentor. And then as you go through renovations, or you're opening a hotel, or economic downturn, or whatever is being thrown in your way, I think you kind of gravitate towards those experts or those people that have that knowledge that'll be able to guide you in the right way. So I'd say, like, throughout my career, I've had about 4 or 5 different people through different stages of my career. And now, I mean, now in Russia, with what we're dealing with now, I mean, I have a new mentor that I look to for advice, and who knows the market and who knows the situation. And we both lived through 2008 when the downturn happened, and we both have an idea of how to deal with certain things. So I think it's not just one. I think at different times I've lent on different people, but all of them have really helped to guide me. I think that's good. It's good to have different flavors. It's good to have different people, male and female, that you can turn to for different sides of the coin, for different sides of the experience when you really need that guidance.
Mm-hmm. No, I like it. I like the approach, because usually when I ask this question, people look at the past. You know, oh, when I was very young,
Yep.
I had that person, but that's it. That doesn't seem to evolve with your career. So I like your approach. Say, well, depending on the situation, where am I? Then
Yeah, I mean, I always, if I was the same person, if I'm the same person in 5 years that I am today, I'm doing something wrong. You know, that kind of way. If I'm not, you know, if I look at myself now in my 40s versus how I was in my 30s, I mean, thank God thank God it's changed. You know, so I'm hoping that throughout, you know, the rest of my career, it'll continuously evolve. And I think for that, you have to look for other people. You have to challenge yourself as well, which is also one of the reasons for me that I move every few years, because I never want anything. It's not that I ever want anything to become too stable, but I never want there not to be a new challenge, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, new challenges, that's something you look for. What is it you like the most in your current role? So, GM at the Radisson Hotel Olympiyskiy, is that right?
Yeah, Olympiyskiy, yeah, absolutely.
With my Russian there.
So what am I enjoying the most? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm enjoying the most at the moment is I'm really enjoying developing the team. And what I mean by that is I'm brand new in the role. Well, I'm not anymore. I'm actually 7 or 8 months in now or something. Okay. But in terms of, this hotel opened about 2 years ago. Fantastic hotel, great team, was in the ramp up stage, and then boom, crisis. So we're dealing with a completely different game all of a sudden, and brand new GM at the same time, literally same week, all of this happened together. So everybody's in it at the same time. So you have to have a strategy. You have to find a way to develop revenue streams. You've got to find a way to navigate the social issues and the cultural issues that you're having with a move, etc. You have to find a way to deal with the economic issues that are going on outside. You've got to navigate the future. And all of this you have to do with a team of people that you haven't worked with before, and that you haven't any kind of previous historic relationship with, and you need to make it work. So what I'm kind of enjoying at the moment very much is that after 7 or 8 months, we all kind of understand each other, which is really satisfying, because on day one, when you come in and suddenly, okay, you know, we need to redo the year-end forecast. We need to look at every cost. We need to find a way, okay, the occupancy is going to be different. You know, all of this is the realities that every single hotel globally is facing with right now. So my problems are the same as anybody else's problems who's in this industry in many, many, many markets. But the thing I enjoy now is that now, after 7 or 8 months of being with the team and working with the team, we now start to finish each other's sentences. We now start, you know, everybody, you know, if somebody asks a question, you know, one of us will answer it in a very similar way as the other person is going to answer it, because we've gone through that situation so closely that it's actually brought everybody together very, very well. So I think that's what I've enjoyed, and that's what I'm enjoying right now, definitely.
Got them aligned, yeah. Okay, so pandemic, we have to mention it, and there's no
Yeah.
excuse. No, I mean we are at the stage now, and we got the advancement on the vaccines. You have the vaccine, the Sputnik 5, I think is the Russian one, or the Pfizer one, announced a few days ago that is on the right path. How do you see the next few steps of the current situation? Again, and it's just a personal opinion, okay?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, personal opinion, I'm really optimistic about this, and I have been optimistic for a while about this. But it's optimism, I hope, based on rational logic. I've been saying for a while, and it's been just my opinion, that there would be an announcement before Christmas, because I did feel that they're not going to come out with all of the information straight away. In the exact same way, no country came out with all of the information straight away about the lockdowns or how long the lockdowns would be for, because you're going to create mass hysteria and panic. In the same way with the vaccine, I didn't think everybody would come out with the information straight away, because you don't want everybody to relax too much, and you don't want the social distancing to stop, and you don't want all of the growth and the progress that's been made to be undone. And you don't, at the end of the day, you don't want people to get sick. So all of these things are being done to stop people, large volumes of people getting sick. So I genuinely do believe with the announcement of the Pfizer vaccine and also with the Russian version, the Sputnik vaccine, I do think that we will see the biggest rollout of a vaccine program that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, or that maybe has ever been done in a very, really short space of time. And I personally am hopeful that as of Q2 of next year, that we're going to see a massive improvement on where we are today in terms of restrictions being lifted. I'm hesitant to say a return to normality. I'm very hesitant because, and I can say the buzzword, the new normal, I can say that too, but I don't think it's not going to be a return to normality, but it's going to be definitely, it's going to look a lot better than life is today. I don't think concerts are going to be, being held as of April of next year, but I definitely think air flights, border restrictions, restaurants, bars, life is going to start to look a lot nicer as of Q2 of next year. And all of our forecasts, and when I talk to the team here at the hotel, that's what I gear my thought process towards for 21.
Okay, good. Optimism then. Brilliant. So you were a GM when you were in your late 20s, which is relatively early for a person. Now we have a lot of people studying hospitality in university or professional studies, and they might be thinking, now, did I choose the right path? Is it the right career? So what will you tell them? A bit of share some of your optimism to that generation.
Okay. First of all, if they're worried about, did I choose the right career? Don't worry, that never goes away. You'll still be thinking about that in your 40s and possibly, later as well. So don't be too worried about that. Secondly, you have chosen a fantastic career because, just because we're in a bad period right now, we were in a bad period back in 2008, also with the financial collapse. And I mean, this is a bit different. Back in 2008, you were decreasing forecasts and, it was economic. This time it's like, borders closed, flights stopped running. It's a completely different period of time, but that is all it is. It's only a period of time. The lodging and hospitality industry is one of the oldest businesses in the world. And the reason it exists is that there is a need for it. There is an absolute need for what we do. And there's a need from both a business point of view and also from a leisure point of view. And all of the stats and the data will show that we should see a return to 2019 levels of business by 2024. That's all of the experts who know these things. They're all saying about a 4-year turnaround, about a 4-year return to normality when it comes to numbers. There's still a massive pipeline of hotels that are opening in the world. There's still a lot of regions where tourism has not yet become as big a GDP producer as it is expected to become. It's one of those businesses and one of those industries that if you're born to do it and it's your passion to do it, you will be successful in this industry. And there will be work for you in this industry. So don't lose faith. It will come back. It's just a little bit of a pause at the moment. I don't even think it's a reset. I think it's just a little bit of a pause at the moment.
There's a lot of people talking about the reset and how is it going to change the new, whatever the new normal means. But yeah, I like your approach as well. It's just a pause. It's a temporary thing. And if
I think human nature always prevails. Human nature always prevails. We always, there's we can measure it by science and we can measure it by logic and data, but you've got instinct as well. We want to travel. We want to meet people. Whether you're extroverted or introverted, you want to eat good food. You want to experience the local. You want to understand other people's cultures and traditions. You want to do business. You want to make money. You want to grow a company. All of these things that happen globally, our industry is something that supports it. Our industry is something that is needed, and I think it will come back. It won't go away. It will. There's something magical about the business. The world needs this business. We're not curing cancer, but we're helping you to have a fantastic stay, to enjoy a city you've never seen before, to celebrate a special occasion. It's a cool business. And if you're meant to do it, if that's your passion, then that's what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm. And actually, that was the next and last question. Sorry, about what are the key skills, or what do they have to focus on? Those young people aiming to maybe be a GM or late 20s. Well, it doesn't matter if it needs to be a GM. It can be a F&B manager, can be housekeeping.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to lead a team, if they want to end up progressing in their career, what are the 3-4 key skills that you think they need?
It's a really good question, because the difficulty with that question is the 3 or 4 key skills, because to narrow it down to 3 or 4, that's the hard.
What is passion?
Yeah,
Okay.
you were actually making it easy on me. Yeah. I think passion, number one. Passion. There's nothing we can do in life if you're not passionate about something. The other person will tell. You can't fake it. You have to, and also if you want to be good at something, you need, because if you're going to do your 10,000 hours, it has to be something you're passionate about if you want to be an expert at this. So passion's number one, because hard work, determination, focus, all of those things will come from passion. I think number 2, when it comes to the hotel industry, experience really counts. And theory is great. University, education, courses, very, very, very important. But practical hands-on experience in the different departments of a hotel to understand, if you want to become a food and beverage manager, you have to work in the bar, you have to do room service, you need to work in the kitchen. You have to touch off these pieces of your department so that you understand the workings of those departments. If you're going into general management, the title says it all. You need to have a general understanding of the operation of the hotel so that you understand the needs of the teams of the people. And you need to have a speciality in at least 2 of those areas. For me, it was food and beverage and sales. So you need to have, 2 areas at least, I think, that you're very, very, very strong at, and then a really good understanding and an overview of the other departments so that you know what you're talking about. And then 3, and I think 3 is key today, is leadership and culture. You need to understand that throughout your journey, that your leadership and culture building needs to constantly evolve, because what's right in one location might be not right in another location. At the different stages of your career, you're going to be asked to do different things. You're going to have to lean on different skills. So you need to also be really working on, are you acting the way you should be acting for the time that you are operating in? And that's key, because becoming a general manager is very possible, I think, for anybody. To become a really good general manager, or somebody that you can be proud of, or somebody that other people can be proud of, that's a different thing. And I think that's something you need to realize. I mean, when I was young, I wanted to become a GM, and I had the wrong goal. I just wanted to become a GM. Now as I'm a little bit older, you start to really think more about what kind of quality of GM you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have to share with you. a story that I have with you from well, almost 20 years ago. I used to work in Spain,
Okay.
right? Before I went to Ireland. I was working for a couple of years in hotels. And when I first shifts with you, and first time you told me when I finished my shift, thank you very much, Pablo. And I asked you why, and you said, well, because of your work today as well. It's my duty, it's my shift. So, and you say, well, still, thank you very much, for coming, for working. I was shocked in a very positive way. It's like never anybody thanked me for doing my job. And every day you thank me. And I went home with a smile. But really, I mean, this shows when you talk about leadership and team management, it was there already in you. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
That little message every day coming from you. It meant a lot to me, to be honest.
That's a really nice thing. Thank you very much for sharing that. I would never have known that. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you.
It meant a lot, honest. Okay, so I was taking notes. You said at the beginning, your loyalty and your curiosity help you grow within Radisson, and helping the company to grow and being there for the company. You've had a few mentors throughout your career, and I said it. I like the approach that as you evolved, your needs evolve as well. So you might reach out to different people who can help you in different ways.
Yeah.
And you've been developing yourself. You're optimist, so you're optimist about the pandemic, and hopefully in Q2 things will change, whatever the new normality will bring us. But as is human nature to go back to travel, it's just a pause, not a reset.
Yeah.
I like that as well. And then the recap from the skills. We said passion, number one, experience, being strong. If you want to be a GM, strong in at least two areas, and having gone through that experience to really understand the team. And this last one we're highlighting leadership and culture, lead the teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Valid recap.
You got it. Good summary.
Good. Anything else you want to add, Brian?
Not at all, Pablo. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you. Really, really good to see you again. And you, honestly, you look good. You look exactly the same as I remember you. I know you said it was less hair, but you look really, really good, man.
Thank you. You do as well. Cheers. Well, thank you very much, Brian. Okay, thanks for your time. It's already getting dark back in Moscow, so I appreciate your time.
Not at all. Pleasure.
Oh, that. Cheers.
My pleasure, Pablo. Great to catch up, and have a good evening. I hope we talk soon, okay?
That was all for now. Hope you found it useful. Remember that you have more information on our website www.torresconsulting.co.uk, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and Twitter. Stay well. Goodbye for now.